Well, this has escalated rather quickly, hasn't it? Emery cloth for hand sanding and a complete roll of maroon Scotch-Brite. Tools. Hi, Kevin here. Well, that black tarnishing on the M4 exhaust is so stubborn, so like a hard shell. Just the maroon Scotch-Brite just couldn't wear it down, so I had to resort to emery mops. Emery mop is a wheel with embedded leaves of emery paper. It's bonded together. Now, so I call them an emery mop, which that's what we used to call them in the old days. There are other names for it, but that's what now. The grit was a 60 grit emery. And that's what I had to resort to get this black oxide. Maybe it's an oxide coating layer on the M4. I'll show you. Now this is like those shows where they say, look, I prepared this for you earlier. Now we are on the good side of this M4. It's so complicated. This is the problem. It's such a complicated tube setup. It's very hard to get your cleaning into the job. Like if it's just simple downpipes, or like this, a simple tube link pipe on the two brothers for the Hayabusa. So simple to polish, easy. But with this M4, it's a mission, I tell you, absolute mission. So the black tarnishing was so severe that nothing would clean it. The acid will only clean it to a certain point. It would sort of take a little bit of sections out of it, but leave others, so to be sort of stepped, where it's clean, black, stepped. So needs something more. So then you go to the Scotch-Brite maroon pad. It works, but it's very slow and it's good on the normal condition of the tube. But when it comes to this black section, where right up near the highest temperature is from the exhaust at the header pipe at the head, it's just so hard to get off. So you're just rubbing away for hours type of thing. It's not an efficient way of doing it. So that's too soft. So then you step it up. So you go from this horrible black tarnish, which is super hard to get off, to then this side and where I've done it previously. And you can then finish it up smoother and smoother from there. So this network of piping is just amazing. God. So what we got to do is, now first of all, the emery mop, like I just explained, it's a 60 grit, and I use an electric die grinder. In the old days, again, in the aviation, we didn't use electric equipment at all. It was all pneumatic, so we all had pneumatic die grinders. So you can get electric ones. I don't know if you can get battery pack ones now, but this is a cord. They're not expensive, and the RPM on them is 25,000 RPM, and being electric, the torque compared to the pneumatic ones is brilliant. Where you need a really good air compressor to run the pneumatic die grinder. So this is good for home for sure. Now, emery mop sizes. This one was too small in diameter, so that the body of the die grinder or the drill is in the way. You need a bit of diameter just for all the tube work, moving the tool around. Otherwise you keep hitting the tool into the tube. So you needed a decent diameter of the emery mop, so then you can work it. The diameter of this one is 40 mil, and it's no good. And just backtrack a little bit, you have these Scotch-Brite type wheels, But once again, even though it's a wheel and you can put it in your drill, it's not fast and it's not hard enough. It's too soft. It's for finishing later on. So from the emery mop in the die grinder, I then go over to the emery cloth. Okay, now this is a genuine industrial type grade, 50 millimeters by 50 meters. Now the beauty of emery cloth is that it is quite versatile. What you can do, you can use a strip here of the emery cloth. You can tear it off like that. Or if you want to cut it down, you can tear it in there like that. So to getting in all those tight spots of that exhaust, you can get your paper down to a size that you can work with. So this emery cloth is the go, and it's strong, and away you go. Just keeps, you can. This is when you're hand sanding after you've used the machine. So we've done the emery cloth. Now we can go to the maroon Scotch-Brite pads, and once again, such a tricky shape. You can't just stand there and go rub, rub, rub. It's just too slow, too hard. So you go and buy a spindle to go into the chuck of your drill, and then I went and bought some bigger washers, some larger washers to stabilise that, and punched. So you get some square pads, punch a hole in the middle, bolt them together onto the spindle. A face shield on, of course, for all this. Where's the face shield? So whatever you do, use a face shield. That's what I find. So then I can use the Scotch-Brite, spinning around. It's not good enough. You can't use it in the die grinder, it's too fast for it. But this is okay. And you don't have to make it round, you can just have it square. Just square, it works out all right. When you're using it, it sorts itself out. It doesn't have to be fancy, just squares. And with a hole punch, you just put it on there like that. Give it a whack into wood, not into anything hard underneath. It has to be like soft wood. And punch out the hole for the centre, bolt it on, 4 or 5 of the pads together, and then just use the drill to clean it up. And then you can finish it off by hand with the Scotch-Brite again, another one doing that. But there's no way you can do all this by hand, it's impossible. So this is the finishing. So to get a finish of this so far has been 4 steps. It has been the die grinder with the emery mop, and then the emery cloth by hand, and then the drill with the spindle with the Scotch-Brite maroon spinning around, and then the 4th one using the Scotch-Brite just by hand, just as a final clean-up. So they're the levels that have been trying to use to get it to a point where you can get it down to a pretty good brushed look. And then if you want to go further than that, then you have to start buffing. But what we're doing here is linishing. And also have a look at the difference between these 2 link pipes. The one on the left is I just hand cleaned, and this is the original one. This is a really old set of M4, so 2 brothers for a Gen 1 Hayabusa. So these ones are just tarnished over the years. Nothing as extreme as that M4 off the TLR. So it was just this one here, the metal lifesaver auto sole. This is the one before the metal polish. So this was just cleaned up with that, with a microfiber cloth, just by hand. Took the brown tarnish straight away off. Didn't get all the minute scratches and the wear and tear from, years and years of use. but it just took the tarnishing straight away off. So if you had a good new system on your bike that is, you know, not 20 years old, you can just clean up, keep maintenance up on the pipes by using the Metal Lifesaver by Autosol. It's the same company as the metal polish, that one there, but it's just the one step before. So there you go. I'll have to continue working on this one now that I've got the products to do the job complete. But I just wanted to show you what I had to do to try and get it to a level where I could knock down this darn hard black surface on the pipes. But it does come up. It just takes work, but it's not this elbow grease, none of that. It's trying to use the machines correctly and the products of the abrasives in layers, you know, step 1, 2, 3, 4, working your way up to something, to a good finish. Because you can just be here for hours just scrubbing away and you're just not getting anywhere. I just want to show you some other little things we can do too. So there's just a cordless drill. It seems to have a decent speed to it. Now this is the spindle that you can buy from the engineering shops or big hardware stores. So a spindle to hold the cloth. But what I went and bought as well, now it's a bit short, see this is what I'm getting at. Buy a longer bolt from the hardware store, cut the head off so that can go into the chuck, and then with the washers and the nuts just lock the nuts against each other, and you put the pad in there to give yourself some extra reach. And this is what I'm planning for that ZX6R. So trying to get up into the exhaust pipes coming out of the head. It need a bit of a reach to get in there, whereas this would be just too short, you see. So this is good on the ground, with the pipes on the ground. But when you get tight stuff and you need some extra reach, make your own spindle. And another little trick we used to do in the old aviation days, here's a bit of stainless steel rod, solid rod, and we cut a slot down there with a hacksaw. And then you put the emery cloth. It's just the emery cloth I showed you before. You put it onto into the slot and then wind it around. Just wind it around like that. And then make sure you've got a face shield on, of course. And then you can start her up and get into those really tight little spots. You're not going to do a lot with it, but you're only just trying to get a few spots you can't reach. So that was an old trick from the Qantas days. So there you go, emery cloth and a little homemade spindles. No worries. My name's Kevin, KJ's Moto. It's been a mission, this job. It would be easier just to go and get it vapor blasted, but I wanted to do it at home. Kevin's my name, KJ's Moto. Give it a thumbs up if you found that helpful. Thank you, see yous.